If you like today's video, please hit that subscribe button and check out more of our amazing content here at Yesterday's Entertainment Tomorrow.
Hey everybody, my name is Ryan from Yesterday's Entertainment Tomorrow, and today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yes, well, if you watched the movie, originally you saw Zack Snyder, but it really wasn't a Zack Snyder film, was it? It was a Joss Whedon film, and it wasn't that good. And ever since then, fans have been clamoring for the Snyder Cut. The hashtag releasethesnydercut has trended several times. And today we're going to talk about Fandom Wire's article by Andy Signor. This is called Zack Snyder's Snyder Cut is Now Happening. And I would say that the title of this article is probably the worst thing about it. Andy, we probably could have written something a little better for that. So, Andy starts off by saying, we previously reported that Warner Brothers did not ever want to release Zack Snyder's version of Justice League, aka the Snyder Cut. Well, our sources have now informed us that something happened this week at Warner Brothers, prompting them to change their mind. While we're still being told that some of them did not want to cave into fan demand, apparently some high enough up on the chain has changed course and agreed to release the Snyder Cut. This gets into it a little more. It's important to note that the story is still developing, but we take our reports and our sources seriously and wanted to correct as soon as we heard the shift in news. By correcting is they heard that HBO Max was not going forward with the Zack Snyder Cut, that the executives at Warner Brothers says there's no way in hell when we're moving forward, and now we're seeing a little shift in the dynamic there. Let's read why. We are hearing that Zack is currently back in talks with HBO Max to release a version of the film. Our sources insist, big capital letters here, insist, that our previous reports were true, but someone inside of the studio has had a change of heart regarding Zack. I can talk, I promise you, regarding Zack Snyder and the cut. It could be someone higher than DC and Warner Brothers, meaning someone at AT&T who owns the studio. So basically it boils down to this. We've heard that there's been screenings of the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut is currently incomplete. If anyone ever remembers from Zack Snyder's Vero, he actually showed the film cans and he's like, hey, it exists, and it does exist, but there's still some work that needs to be done on the film to the tune of $20 million, which Warner Brothers balked at. They were like, we're not paying $20 more for a film that's already been released. And of course, we all know that Joss Whedon really came in and took over the film and released what was released and made not a lot of people happy. But from what I understand, people have watched this screening, including some AT&T executives. AT&T owns Warner Brothers. AT&T was happy with the Snyder Cut. So this change of heart is probably someone from AT&T saying, hey, it's probably worth it at this point to spend the $20 million and get this made. Why is that important? Well, let's see if we can go down a little bit and it talks about it. It really does not. So HBO Max is the new HBO streaming service, and they really don't have that gotcha title as of yet. And I say gotcha title because Netflix and Amazon, they have a wide array of programming that you can go to. You go to Netflix, you can watch things like, I don't know, Lock and Key, Orange is the New Black, tons and tons of new shows that start daily. And the same thing pretty much goes for Amazon, which was a service I never really used, but the shows are getting better and better. I love The Boys. I love The Tick. What did I just finish over there? Oh, Upload. Upload was a fantastic show. Highly recommended. So they have these draws in. HBO Max really doesn't. You want to watch HBO shows, you can go to Amazon Prime. You can go to HBO, what is it, Plus. I don't have that channel because I have it over on Amazon. But you can already get the HBO show. So HBO Max really needs to be something new programming. And the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League really could be one of those big pulls to get people in to watching HBO Max. It continues here. If this is in fact does prove to be true, many congratulations should be sent to Zack Snyder. Against all odds, he played the long game to finally get WB's respect and get his release cut after it was dismantled by Joss Whedon. Everyone calls it the worst DC film. They find that it's uneven, and I do find it's uneven. I was not a fan of Birds of Prey. I walked out of the movie theater I did see the end of it when I was home, like when it went on demand, and it was not good. That was a piece of garbage. This is here something that kills me. Well, some of the more toxic fans absolutely took the battle too seriously. I've been impressed with many of the fans today who have already started forgiving us after correcting the story. Look, I don't think that the Zack Snyder fans are toxic. If anything, those non-Snyder fans are the toxic fans. Listen to this. This is why I say this. Because Zack Snyder fans are very passionate. They like the Man of Steel. They like BVS. And they want to see it continue that story in the Justice League. We didn't get that continuation in the Joss Whedon Justice League. But people don't like those Zack Snyder movies. They didn't like Justice League. And they just don't care. But the thing is, they're not caring then impedes on the caring of those who care about the Snyder Cut. And I've found time and time again, talking on Facebook and Twitter and online, that if you're not a Snyder fan, you need to make your opinion known that you don't care about the Snyder Cut, you don't want the Snyder Cut, you're going to diminish the thoughts and values of anyone who is a fan and wants the Snyder Cut. And I really say that those fans are toxic. And I'm just like, you know what? I like Man of Steel. I'm not going to apologize for it. I like Batman v Superman. I'm not going to apologize for it. I'm not going to apologize for anything, except those fans kept coming with those negative thoughts. So I don't like that. Let's see what else we got here. So basically, it comes down to Andy Signor's tweet here. One of the best fandom wire sources confirmed something changed today. It's happening. Stay tuned. We're trying to understand what, why, but always man up and correct the story ASAP instead of deleting tweets to save face like some others are right now. Andy Signor is great. He's formerly of Screen Junkies. If you followed any of the drama of him, you know that he was basically blacklisted from the community until all that news came out that it wasn't true. I've talked to Andy. Andy's a great guy, so I'm really happy to see that he's come up with Fandom Wire again and the work that he's been doing again, and I trust his sources. So if his sources say it's happening, it's happening. If We Got This Cover went to their grandmother and asked if Zack Snyder's cut is happening, and she's like, "What, Zack Snyder cut?" And then comes back and they write a 3-page article. I don't believe We Got This Covered. I don't believe Cosmic Book News. They're trash sites. So if Andy Signor and Fandom Wire are saying it, I believe it. But what do you think? Leave a comment below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like me babbling about Justice League today. And I'm Brian from Yesterday's Entertainment Tomorrow. I will catch you next time.